Get Into Gate, episode 4. High Pitch Matty here with you for the Broca Divide. Here with me is Rhys.
What up?
And Brendan.
Hey.
You looked at Brendan when you said my name.
I know, I don't know why I did that. I am so tired right now. I am just...
Hey, but we're talking Stargate, people.
I know,
Right?
that's going to perk me up.
Get you excited.
And there's one other person we need to welcome, Mitch. Mitch?
Oh, hello.
Mate, that guy's commitment is just ridiculous.
Hey, ask the guy who he's blowing how committed he is. Right? His balls deep. All right?
He's a Bolchinian.
That's just a visual I do not need right now. And that's all I can think of. Is like, Mitch never shaves. He's got a 5 o'clock shadow. There's gonna be a pash rash on your ball sack. Like, what is? Oh, that's
Poor bastard.
The visuals in my head is just.
This is how we start the episode.
This is how we should start every episode. I think get way more listeners.
Let's
talk about P3X797.
Oh, here we
look
go.
at you!
The newbie
The new guy coming in with the goods.
cracking out the
Talking
binary
like
numbers.
Yeah,
a
boom.
pro.
Love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed you may get a blowjob after this.
May. It's less certain than last
That's why
episode.
That's why I wrote those numbers down.
Yeah. I didn't rewind it either. They said it 3 times in the episode, so
Yeah,
I thought
that
I better
is
write that
true,
down.
that
I'll
is
impress
true.
them with that. I might
Yeah,
score a
that's
blowy out of this.
Do you know who won't score a blowy is friggin' General Hammond in this when he is, giving them debriefing. Have a listen to this. It sounds like he's saying Carter's name for the first time and like he's reading it like he doesn't know what language it is. Have a listen to this.
Captain Carter's.
Yeah, but in his defense, I don't think Carter would have blown him anyway. So.
Yeah, but it's like is her name hyphenated? Like what?
Yeah.
What was that?
Captain Carter's.
It's like he's reading.
Type of vehicle.
I think he's a robot, and there was just a glitch in them.
Yeah.
Or was there like just
Oh.
an unintentional question mark in the
Fallen
script?
into a plot hole. Yeah.
Was there a question mark that like a typo in the
Carter?
script? Captain Carter.
He's like Anchorman. He has to say every
Just says
reading the
everything
script
that's
out.
there.
grammatical error.
Wow, I'm impressed, Rhys. Does it mean anything to you, or are you just a parrot?
Oh, it's a binary code for the
Wow.
for the.
So yeah, and they're always 6 digits, right? So I was figured P3X989 whatever plus the point of origin is what I always figured.
Oh no, because 99% of them start with P, don't they?
Yeah.
Because I think that's a designation for planet, and then occasionally they do go to a moon, or it's changed to M something.
What's the
something,
point of
something.
origin with it? What's the?
It's the basically every gate situation. He says it in the movie. Every point in space has 6 dimensions. I think he said, like of a cubic square.
Yeah, if you're looking at a square, which again we need to do a separate episode for this because I'm not sure.
the science of it.
I'm not sure that actually
But basically,
works.
the one was the point of origin is where you dialed from. So every DHD, like the dial home device that you see on every planet, has a unique symbol on it, and that is that planet's symbol.
Okay.
Yeah.
So ours as Earth
So-
is the triangle with the circle on top.
Oh,
That's the,
Yeah, so
that's
if you want to
Tari,
travel to,
that's the point of origin of
if
Earth.
you want to travel to Chulak, which is where we meet Teal'c in the first episode, you type in the six digits for Chulak and then your point of origin. But then if you're on a different planet and you want to go to Chulak, you type in those 6 codes
and
and
that
then
point
whatever
of
that
origin.
planet's point of origin
Okay.
is.
Yeah.
The problem I have with this though, and I'll try and keep it as brief as possible in terms of the science of this, is what is there 39 symbols on a Stargate or something like that?
Yeah,
Is it-
roughly.
Something like that.
I haven't counted them.
And now, obviously, not
Pause.
all. It's one of the. I think it's one of those little trivia questions they have.
It is, yeah.
But I feel like, well, not all codes work. And if you think about, the cube and the 6 sides of the cube is each symbol. Say, for example, there's a symbol on the left side of the cube and a symbol on the right side of the cube, and you just swap those. Well, that's not going to equal another planet. So you're actually when people do the math and they say, okay, well, 39 times 6 times or 6 times 39 times 39, and they work it out. They say, oh, there's a possibility of 4 billion possible addresses, but obviously none of those work in terms of not all of
They're
those
not all
actually lead to a
addresses.
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought early on when they first started with the series, it's like, well, maybe you couldn't get to a certain planet just from Earth. Because if you think about it, every Stargate has to be different because the point of origin symbol has to be on that spinning inner wheel. So every gate on every planet is different. So to me, that I always thought, well, each planet had 39 different symbols, or maybe there's 100 symbols all up, but only 39 on each gate. So theoretically, if you wanted to get to a certain planet, maybe you couldn't travel there directly. Maybe you had to go via a couple of different stops
to get to
there.
London from here. You have to stop at Dubai.
Yeah, like stopovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always, early on, I thought that might be a thing, but
Yeah, I
as the
wonder why.
series progresses, it's just, nope, you dial 6 digits and a
that's it.
point of origin, and you're
Plus,
there.
we don't have a DHD really, so we can just put in whatever we want.
Well, no, because you're limited to the symbols on the Stargate.
Yeah.
But remember in the first episode how they say and I'll go back to my notes because I wrote this down, compensating for stellar drift. So is there going to be extra symbols for compensation?
No, it's just the
No,
algorithm that Carter has, which is already in the DHDs, is already worked out automatically. But because we didn't have a DHD,
Yeah.
Okay.
we have to work that
Create
out.
one.
Yeah, so that's what they say.
right.
That's the problem. Is that's why all the other Stargates in the universe work, is because the DHD compensates for that stellar drift.
Yeah.
Whereas because we don't have a DHD, that's why we had such trouble getting to Abydos in the film, which is their way of retconning.
Which was in a different galaxy.
Yeah.
in the film.
So that's their way of retconning why we had such trouble. Because what do they say in the film? It's like, well, they discover it in Giza in 1920s,
Yeah.
and they don't open it till the 90s. So they've had like 50 or 70 years to try and
Yeah, right.
open this, and they've tried all these different codes, but they didn't work because the gate itself was kind of miscalibrated, I
yeah.
guess. But yeah, if you think about it, every single gate has to be unique in terms of the point of origin symbol has to be on that inner wheel.
yeah, you're right.
So even if there are only, say, 39 or 38 symbols, the 39th symbol on the gate,
38, zing.
the 39th symbol always being the point of origin, that means for as many gates and planets there has to be that many different symbols.
Yeah.
So it's like, theoretically, our point of origin, which is the little triangle with the circle, couldn't that be the third glyph in a 7-glyph address to another planet as a point of reference?
Yeah, but I always thought that each symbol is actually a star constellation. It's not necessarily a planet. So there could be millions of gates in that constellation in the vastness of space.
But then if you also think about, and this is a scene from the film, the whole way Daniel is able to figure out the gate is he sees on the newspaper a constellation of like, is it Orion or something like that? And he finds the Orion symbol on the gate.
Yeah.
Well, Orion is only Orion
Visible from Earth. Yeah.
as from the point of view of Earth. If you're
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Mars or
right.
Jupiter or something, you're going to be in a different spot, so it's not going to line up the way it does.
Yeah.
So the fact that glyph is on the Earth gate kind of means that has to
Every
be
gate has to be
only on the Earth gate. So yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
those. It's one of those muddy things, and I feel like we need to sit down with like a whiteboard and just like nut it out
Yeah.
and figure
and go,
it
yeah,
out.
they're wrong. I knew it. Because
What do we do now? I don't
fiction, it turns out you need a gate of the size of the Golden Gate Bridge or something like that.
Yeah. So I guess maybe it was just one of those things they just
Super Gate, maybe.
kind of.
You can call it.
You didn't say it, I was. Don't worry, you'll find out in about 4 years.
Oh,
But yeah, it's one of those
Good one.
things where I feel like, yeah, it's something they've just kind of brushed under just for ease of plot. Because obviously, I mean, this show does get pretty technical sometimes in terms of physics and science and stuff like that. But this is something they kind of just went, nah, that's too complicated. We won't worry about it. Which is fair enough.
So the start of this episode was they had the refugees that came through from Tilkswell.
Chulak. Yep.
They brought with them 4 symbols. They saw the 4 symbols,
That the
4 last symbols that the gold used to go through the gate.
Yeah, when they ran off with Skara and all that sort of stuff at the end of
And then
Children
they
of the
had
Gods.
3 left, 3 symbols that they didn't know. How did they? And then
Well, they cross-referenced that with the cartouche from Abydos of the list of planets that they have, and apparently they lined up and was like, okay, well, there's only one planet on this list that has symbols that match up in that order.
yeah,
So they were going, well, there's a good chance that that's where
which I find
Apophis and...
which I find funny because obviously they're wrong and it goes to a different address, and then they say, "Well, can we see the vision?" And then Hammond says, "We don't have any vision."
Oh, yeah, I've got the audio of that. Have a listen to this. such a bullshit mission. Like, what?
Yeah.
What is going on here? Have a listen.
Sent an MALP probe through 30 minutes ago. Atmosphere is breathable, no detectable radiation, temperature approximately 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Can we see the video playback, sir?
There is no playback.
Why no playback?
It appears to be very dark where the gate resides on this planet.
Well, the MALP probe has lights on it, doesn't it?
We think they were broken during transport through the gate.
This is crazy. We don't know what could be there waiting for us when we come through.
Don't you worry, boys. That's why the SG-3 Marines are coming with. You can count on us to watch your backsides.
Actually, it's more my front side I was worried about.
Because the thing that annoys me with this is that they're trying to look for Skara and Sharae,
Yeah.
which is Daniel's family, basically. But yet, when they say, oh, we have no vision, Daniel's the first one to go, well, that's crazy. You're just sending us into...
Yeah,
No, like
you have no
that's-
idea.
I'm not going. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas the first
But
episode,
then,
he's like, well, I'm going, General.
The Marines
I'm
like,
going.
that's okay, we're here to watch your back. And he's just a sarcastic ass going, well, it's my front I'm actually
old
worried
Yeah,
about.
make peace.
Daniel is so sassy in this episode. He just gives it to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he gives it to make peace about, I'm worried about my front more than my back. And then later on, he Faddingham gives it to Fraser. Like, and like she's trying to save lives, and he Faddingham gives it to her. We'll play that later on. I've got the bit of audio there. But jeez, he's an asshole in this
But yeah,
episode.
SG3 team are fucking dickheads.
Well, they're Marines, man. They're like, whoa, let's go. They're not
Yeah,
Air Force, so they're
and
like,
they-
I want to shoot something.
Give me something to kill. It's my
Yeah.
job.
And I feel like that's another reason, because what actually happens, Rhys, is later in the series, the actual US Air Force actually supports the show and gives them resources and they actually have like
Sick.
like an air
Yeah.
like they let them use their planes, and they're like, well, we'll put an advisor on your staff to help you make things really accurate and all that sort of stuff. And I feel that's like little things like this, because there's always that little bit of rivalry between, like, Marines and Air Force and
Yeah.
Army and,
Yeah.
and SEAL and all that sort of stuff. So I feel like it's little jibes like this at making these Marines just look like idiots.
Yeah.
But the Air Force is just like, this is a show we
Yeah.
can get behind.
the technical guy from the Air Force is like, nah, Marines are more dickheads than that.
Yeah.
Be more of a dickhead. Perfect.
Just be an absolute knob jarhead.
That's it, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Got it.
Boom,
Nailed
where
it.
you contribute to your budget. There you go.
Now
Pay
shoot
rises
something.
for everybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it is, just shoot it.
That's good.
Do we feel, though, like, should this episode have come before Emancipation? Like, I feel like it's taken them this long to get these glyphs from the people who they say is at the start of Emancipation, they've already rehomed them.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So it's... I feel
Yeah,
like
it's out of
been
order.
played out of
That's
order.
why I've said, like I said last episode, Emancipation feels like it shouldn't be there. It should, if you're gonna make that, like, do some Carter stuff, do it later in the season when you're already into it.
Mm.
Whereas, I think maybe this one or the next one episode should have been.
I think they. I mean, from my point of view, watching it, I think they needed to early on really stamp that Carter is a warrior, that she is a tough woman that can fight, and I think that's probably, like, there's probably no other world that they could have gone to other than, what was it called? Emancipation. To sort of prove that sort of thing. So, I mean,
Yeah.
But in this episode, the Broca divide, once they go through, there's the touched and the untouched and whatever, and she gets infected, and she's just all steamy.
yeah.
It kind of almost undoes it, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
like suddenly she's just this, oh, you want to
Yeah, that's it.
Like, you wanna-
That's
that
what
was
women
the-
wanted.
You want to
Yeah,
go
I
to
mean-
Pound Town? Like,
Yeah.
I want the D. Give me the D.
That's what.
I'm gonna throw you around this locker room. Put it in me.
But that's what because the doctor explained it later on. That hot doctor, she goes,
Dr. Frasier.
Yeah,
She becomes a recurring. She hangs around for a little bit. I have to agree with
is
you
that
there
the
with
chick
Dr.
off
Fraser.
Law and Order?
No.
Oh, I
Looked
don't
like
know.
her in that first scene where
She was in
Yeah.
Kyle XY, but that's an even more obscure reference than Stargate itself.
the guy with no belly button.
Holy shit! You know about Kyle XY?
No, I saw the poster for it.
And he had no belly button.
And I'm
You
like,
just saw no
I
belly, no belly button. I want to give that guy a blowjob.
No, there's nowhere to.
I am so glad this is not a visual medium because The gesture that you just made is we would get shut down. Wow.
It's like a target.
Wow.
Yeah, so the doctor was explaining like the reason why she went all sexual on his ass is because she cave woman.
Yeah, she kind of went primal.
Yeah, she wants the man, but she doesn't just want any man. She wants the
alpha.
the leader, the alpha man.
The alpha.
And that was him. I think that's. I mean, how else would you? Unless she went out and.
That tank top's not regulation though. Like that.
No,
tank top she was
that's
wearing.
what I mean. Like she's gone out of her mind. She's lost the plot, but she had time to cut up her shirt.
Yeah, I
Looks
feel like there's a scene missing where it's like she comes out of the show, puts the tank top on, like wipes off the mirror, and goes, "Nope, not sexy enough," and just pulls out a knife and just cuts the midriff on it, and she's like, "I'll get some action now."
Yeah, that's where she got that knife wound from in her stomach.
That's it, cutting her shirt.
But I think for me this is where the episode really falls down in terms of I liked the idea of they go to this planet and it's Minoan culture. And there's this really on-the-nose reference to the dark side and the light, these enlightened people and these people living in darkness.
Land of light, they called it, didn't they?
Yeah, and it's like I wanted to explore that aspect more in terms of, and I said this in the last episode, in Emancipation, in terms of the social aspects and the Star Trekkiness of using this as a vehicle to point out social issues in modern day.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to see, but then it kind of just
it's a disease.
Yeah, divulged into this weird. It's a disease on the base, and everyone's
really
got
bad hay fever.
big foreheads,
Yeah.
and poor
If you take antihistamines, you'll be fine.
poor General Hammond gets those giant eyebrows.
Yes. He just turned retarded. He didn't.
Oh.
He didn't turn into. It's just here you go. You got a roommate trying not to rape him. And just throw him in there, and he's in a straitjacket, but O'Neill's just like.
Yeah, Hammond didn't even get to punch anyone. Yet Jackson copped a flogging from O'Neill.
Oh my god!
So great.
Oh my god! I have to.
I love that.
I have video. I have to show you guys. No joke. I laughed so hard when I saw this. He gets like the shit beaten out of him by O'Neill. He's got blood running down his face, and like the chick, technician stands up and quite literally helps him up and quite literally dusts his shoulder and then pushes him away.
Pushes him away.
And she's like, "Okay, you're fine now. It's fine. I
Yeah.
won't wipe the blood from your nose."
I like he was
treatment.
really concerned about his glasses too. Didn't you say you hated this episode?
It's like I said, it's one of those
Just 'cause
things
it lacks
where
the-
it digressed into this weird virus on the base thing, and we lost all that. I mean, yes, at the end of the episode, they cure all these people so that they can come into the light, but I just feel like I wanted to dive into, well, why weren't these people trying to help people? I know that people in the light weren't helping the people in the dark because they didn't know how to fix the problem, but it's like, I don't know,
Yeah.
They're like,
Spanish.
they're dead to us.
Yeah, it was full on.
And quite easily, I think it might include one of my least favourite scenes of Stargate ever.
The rape.
What?
The rape at the start.
What rape?
Where the
Oh yeah.
Oh, the caveman rape.
caveman
No,
rape.
that was his favourite.
Jesus.
No, but that's the bit that's
Caveman rape.
funny. The worst, which Carter's like, "I'm gonna stop this," and Daniel's like, "No, whoa,
Yeah.
Just
what
wait,
are you
just
doing?
whoa,
I'm
whoa."
just starting to enjoy this."
Yeah,
Alright.
well, I call it rape. Just sit down.
And Daniel's like, "Nah, Carter, come on,
body-
be a sport."
Her body says no, but her eyes say yes.
Oh
No,
man.
I
Yeah,
think it
and
has to be my least favourite thing of anything in any episode of Stargate. And that is when O'Neill, devolves into his caveman and he makes those horrible meowing sounds. He sounds like a squealing pig or, and this is an Archer reference, an ocelot. I don't know if you guys know what an ocelot is. It's this
No.
weird, like,
I've heard of it.
feline, part hyena. It sounds
Isn't
exactly...
it a breakfast? Oh no, that's an omelette.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
Look,
That's a good dad joke.
Oh, classic.
I've had a bit of fun here, and I've just corrected some of the audio from just
I
one
got
of
it
these
wrong.
scenes
Can't
here.
wait.
All right, throw it at us.
Just
Let's
let me
go.
see if
What
you
do
can
got?
spot what I've done.
He's going to damage himself.
I've been pumping him with sedatives to control him, but they wear off fast. Help me give him some more. Let's go, go!
I think you've had sex and recorded yourself and then put it on there.
Well, glad it edited
That
the
was when he was
sounds.
watching Kyle XY. It's just,
Given that you said that, I'm glad I edited out the sounds of the kids at the zoo, like reality.
What? Where were you having sex? In the ocelot enclosure.
But I don't know what RDA was thinking. Like,
Yeah.
did he think those sounds were like really method and
well, maybe
and
he watched
primal
an
and
Neanderthal documentary, and that's how they think they sound.
You just went to this
I mean, I'm going to
high-pitched-
defend O'Neill because this guy, he's MacGyver, and I love him.
I just I couldn't handle it. I couldn't
So that
handle
was your least. For me, my least favorite was when they walk into the hall in the light side of the planet, and then O'Neill's like, "Oh, I love if you dumb the place or whatever."
it. I've got Carter's
Oh yeah,
little
and
zing
then
in the
Carter
back of
comes
it.
out with her lame ass joke.
I was gonna do my living room like this, but it didn't go with my other stuff.
Oh man, I love
Oh,
that.
jeez,
Like
man. That
that's
was
just
not
like
necessary.
I've heard you two use much worse dad jokes than that. Like
Yeah, but ours are hilarious.
That
But,
is- that is
O'Neill
a dad
already
joke.
made a good enough effort, and she's just had to ruin it. You
it
know?
does feel like something they've tacked on, doesn't it? Like
Yeah.
they've just done that in looping. They're like, we need something here.
Yeah.
Give Carter a
She
line.
didn't actually give Carter a line. Why not O'Neill? Like, indeed. Like, as if, Teal'c.
Oh yeah, because that's what Teal'c needs is more indeed.
O'Neill's
Why?
like, I love you to dumb the place. And
Why? What have
like
they done?
sarcastically, and Teal'c's like, indeed. And he actually digs it. Indeed, I like bulls also, O'Neill.
Have you seen it before?
Speaking of Teal'c, he does get. Oh, this speaks more to probably what I was saying before about Daniel being so catty in this episode and so like uptight with people. There's a line here with Fraser where she actually refers to Teal'c as Mr. Teal'c.
Oh, yeah.
And
I wanted to
at
slap
first-
that bitch.
at
for saying that.
Well, have a listen
It's
to this.
Teal'c!
Well, have a listen to this.
It's like saying Mr. Colonel O'Neill. It's retarded.
Well, have a listen to this. This is how Daniel reacts.
So, the question is, why haven't you and Mr. Teal come down with the symptoms?
Mr. Teal'c's symbiote probably protects him.
That would be likely.
Well, what about you, Dr. Jackson?
Well, that beats me. You're the doctor. Maybe I have a natural immunity.
Like,
Man.
that is some serious sass. Like, he's like, well, you're the doctor. He's like, not having any of her calling him Mr. Teal'c.
Yeah.
And I couldn't tell because if there's
Good on him. Good on him.
there's two ways I could take that as
Stick it up for your mate.
well, there's two ways I could take that as a joke. If you shorten that makes Teal'c Mr. T.
Yeah, that's true.
And I pity the fool who
So
makes a Mr. T joke.
God.
But then the other thing is in Star Trek, it's this big thing where everyone's called Mr. It's like Kirk's like, Mr. Sulu, do this. Mr. Spock, do that. And because this is at its core, I guess, a sci-fi show, I wonder if that was just their little nod to saying, yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
we
I
are
can only
not doing
hope
that.
that it was.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah,
His
just going-
reaction, yeah.
We're not going to call him Mr. Teal'c. That's just,
Yeah.
that's not a thing.
Anyway, my favourite line in this episode, of course, is
Indeed.
when, apart from indeed,
Oh,
is when they give the antihistamine full dose to O'Neill. Actually, yeah, there was this weird moment between Fraser and O'Neill that I was wondering if they were going to go down that path, where O'Neill's, he's obviously off his chops. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's rubbing her face, and she's like really getting into it.
Ooh.
She's like, oh yeah, I love it.
She
love
likes it rough like a caveman.
Some caveman action.
He's just banged Carter almost. I'm pretty sure you can keep moving.
Maybe that was, I'm giving them way more credit than they deserve here, but maybe that was them saying, well, you know, maybe Fraser's on her way to being infected and she's suddenly just, she's going Carter and she's going for the alpha.
See, I told you can always defend bad writing. You can always do it.
No, but she had allergies as well. She was on the antihistamines.
Oh, was she?
Big time.
Yeah, her and Daniel.
Because I remember, because she was treating someone, and I'm like, why isn't she getting that? And then she's like, yeah, I've got.
her
I
and
take
Daniel
daily
and Teal'c
antihistamines.
were immune. Obviously, Teal'c because of his symbiote,
Mm.
and then Fraser and O'Neill because they're on antihistamines, which
Classic.
is just
Classic.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That is the worst case of hay fever I've ever seen.
But anyway,
Daniel was like, you're the doctor. And she's like, well, fine, I'll figure it out then.
Yeah,
and
I'll
she
do it
does.
myself.
Go back through the Stargate and turn.
She just
Yeah,
figured-
well, that was it because they went back, and then Teal'c's like, Dr. Jackson. He didn't really look for him too long when he got kidnapped by the Neanderthals.
Yeah, I feel like Teal'c really wasn't fazed by the fact that Daniel got taken. He's like, oh, well.
I didn't like that nerd.
Dr.
You know what?
Dr.
Oh, well.
Daniel Jackson.
I can dial the
Thin the
gate
herd.
also.
Yeah. And then he got back and he's like, says to O'Neill, I lost him. I'm sorry. Like that was it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I knew I've lost it.
It's like he can't understand you, bro. He's Neanderthal.
Like he just lost a book that he loaned him. He's like, sorry.
I will get you.
I scratched your DVD, bro. Sorry.
I looked.
I will
for-
get you a
for
new Daniel
almost-
Jackson.
For almost a full minute, like I looked, but I just, he
Like
got
on
away
the
from
way to
me.
the gate, I'll kind of turn my head and
then-
really tried with my night.
And then it
vision
turns out
goggles.
Daniel doesn't even want to be found because he's off banging cave chicks anyway.
He's off banging the rape victim. Right?
Well,
That's why I didn't want her to stop
they're like-
before. He's like, no.
Now
I'm getting-
serving number 27. Now serving number 27. And Daniel's like, that's me. That's
It
me.
wasn't there. Didn't one of them say, "Oh, you got a woman on every planet" or something?
Yeah, O'Neill said that. I'm
Yeah.
pretty
That's
sure.
right. After he'd been cured and they went back to find them.
Yeah.
Wow.
When he first got cured, he's like,
O'Neill.
yeah. He knocks on the. What's he saying?
Oh,
gotta
this
grab
is
it
great.
that.
Oh yeah, I've got it here.
Lucy, I'm home. I am not Lucy.
I know that. It's a reference to an old TV. Never mind. Open the door.
It's a TV reference. Just let me out of here. Like that's good. That's the
Oh,
O'Neill that
Love
you
it.
want to see. Like
Yeah,
that's a
absolutely.
great. He
How
didn't
could
even
I be
finish
sure?
the
You
line.
just referred to me as Lucy.
A little thing that I liked just at the start when they first went through the Stargate, everyone had a helmet on, except for O'Neill. He just had a backwards cap.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I meant to mention this.
And Makepeace goes, oh, yeah, whatever you say, home flyboy or homeboy or whatever he said. And he's like, whatever.
I
don't care.
think I had a note of this in the last episode. Maybe it's the first appearance of O'Neill's hat. He clearly,
Okay.
I reckon Richard Dean
Oh,
Anderson
yeah.
was like, I'm not wearing this goddamn helmet for one more episode.
Yeah.
My name is above the titles. I'm wearing a cap.
Yeah, that's
Also,
it.
you can't see my face properly on screen.
Yeah.
Oh,
And also
God, yeah.
in the foreshot, you can never tell which one's which.
Yeah, true.
So what actually happens later on is Carter gets. Eventually they sort of become pretty loose. At some points, Tilk's rocking through the gate in like a tank top. Is all he rocks through
Yeah.
Like in like season 8, he's like tank top and a gun, and he's done.
I've got to show off these guns.
But yeah, I think in the long shot, it's also easy then to differentiate who's
Yeah.
who.
Yeah.
In terms of,
'Cause
because
you-
if they're all wearing the same outfit with all helmets, it's like, well, we can tell which one's Teal'c, but who are the other three?
Yeah.
So I guess that works.
Another cool bit I liked was when, oh man, I can't remember his name, but the soldier was just staring at Tilk, and then he's like,
Oh,
apologise.
Lieutenant Johnson.
Yeah, Lieutenant John, and he goes to punch him, and Tilk just catches it,
Yeah.
nails him to the table, and he's like, General, I would prefer not to hurt this man.
Yeah.
Just not phased
Actually, that
one bit.
is, apart from the I am not Lucy line, that is, for me, for Tilk, that is the best.
Yeah, it's good. I tried
moment.
clipping the audio for it, but it kind of, because there's so much, and this has been the bane of my existence is cutting clips from this show, is there's so much score underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so hard
Especially
to
in these earlier episodes, I go, oh, man, this
Yeah.
is so dramatic.
It's
like,
so hard to edit stuff and clip things because it's like, well, I might go and clip like a minute of audio and there's like a 10-second gap in the middle, but it's like if I cut it out, there's just like this jump in the music, and I'm like, God damn it!
Yeah.
So I tried cutting the Lieutenant Johnson bit, but with all the audio in the background, it's because obviously it's
because
not,
he goes,
it's
please
more
release
visual.
me, Lieutenant Johnson. And
Yeah,
it's
it's more a
completely
visual
just,
gag.
The guy's going mental, and he's
Because
like,
he's just like
so
rage
stoic.
filled, just like he's about to Hulk out.
Yeah.
And Tilk's just like,
Yeah, and he just drops him. Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Prefer to not
Yeah.
hit this man. That's what I noticed too. It was like Hammond just turns around and looks at the door. He didn't even say guards or anything. It was just like he turned around, and then all those dudes came in and got Lieutenant Johnson and arrested him. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So all those guys would have
They were
turned
just
into
waiting there.
Neanderthals as well.
yeah, straight up.
Is this the first reference we see? This is going back to early in the episode when they first go through the gate with the Marines, and he tells the Marines to hold off for a 10 count, and then come on through. And the head Marine, what did you say his name? Is it Makepeace?
Colonel Makepeace. Yeah.
Colonel Dick.
He holds his gun in the wormhole.
Yeah.
And this is something you probably haven't caught up on yet, Rhys, but it's basically, if there's nothing going through a wormhole, it will automatically shut down.
Oh, okay.
So this is kind of, I feel like the first allusion to, well, he's holding his gun in the wormhole to hold the door open.
Hold it open, yeah. Okay.
So it doesn't shut down, so they don't have to then redial.
But that was the longest 10 count too, because it was at least 60 seconds, and they all got mobbed by this group of Neanderthal guys.
Yeah.
Or Neanderthal, I think they like to call it. But yeah, I'm like, where was the 10 count, guys? Because I actually looked at the time code.
Oh, did you?
I'm going 30.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
still,
so much.
Where are you guys?
So much of having our backs. I feel like Daniel Sass was like warranted in that moment.
They're like, yeah, I'll give you 10 minutes.
Yeah. He probably did it to be smart asses.
Yeah.
Too. I'm glad you guys were the first ones in. Yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
And this, I think, is the first appearance, too, of O'Neill being really uncomfortable when they go to another world and the inhabitants think they're gods and they kneel before them. You see O'Neill get really uncomfortable.
Oh, he gets
he
cranky.
walks over and and lifts them up, say, "Get off your knees. We're not gods. We're not gods."
Yeah.
Which is something that he didn't.
For crying out loud.
When they in Children of the Gods, when they first go to Chulak, and there's all those monks, they go Asla Chulak, blah, blah. Like they kneel, and like O'Neill doesn't really it doesn't faze him
in the movie.
No, this is in Children of the Gods.
Oh, okay.
And they go to Chulak, and you know how there's those guys with like the snakeskin hoods on
Oh,
with the
yeah.
stars and stuff.
In Chulak. Yeah.
And they say they'll take him to Chulak. They actually bow because they think that the SG-1 are, gods here for the choosing.
Yeah.
But O'Neill doesn't worry about them kneeling. But
Yeah.
I think this is the first time you see him, and it's a continuing thing. He gets really uncomfortable with being viewed as a god by these people going, no, we're just like you. We're just like you. Stand up, stand up, stand up.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch. I think it's, slowly putting, his own... Because I feel like that's not a Kurt Russell move. If Kurt Russell was still
Yeah,
O'Neill,
he'd light up a cigarette and go, "Stay down there, boys. I'll be with you in a second."
Jesus.
Just going to get a haircut.
So many inappropriate things running in my head right now. I just cannot even deal.
Dear.
Cannot
You ever
even
wonder
deal.
what a god's dick tastes like?
And that was one of them. Thank you, Rhys.
Oh, shit.
But I guess my overall note that I have for this episode is, what the hell was it about? Like, it just...
Well, it's another standalone. Like, most of the time these are standalones. Like, especially in those days, in the 90s and earlier, if you had a science fiction show or any show, you'd have so many standalone episodes that you would keep the equilibrium and you come back. And
Well,
it's like,
honestly, that's kind of how I was raised on television, is in terms of, Buffy and Star Trek and things like that. But when you have these standalone episodes, it's like, well, what was the message at the end of it? Like, there was... Maybe this is me looking for the Star Trek in it.
Don't have any histamine in your system. That's pretty much what it is.
Take your daily antihistamine.
Yeah.
I think the way they tied it together was they originally went there, obviously, looking for the Gaul.
Yeah.
They didn't find any, and they came back. Obviously...
Yeah, because they didn't really give a shit, did they?
Yeah, well, Jackson wanted to stay, and he's like, obviously, I want to be a scientist and shit.
Yeah.
But they came back, and then...
I'm an archaeologist.
Yeah. And then General Hammond was saying, why... Oh, sorry. Jackson was saying, we should go back, we need to go back, blah, 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 blah.
Scientific and cultural reasons.
Oh, yeah, this is the first... And then
the president said, yeah, we need to go back.
He agrees, and they established that science mandate.
Yeah.
Actually, I do have some audio here of Daniel explaining the Broca Divide and why he wants to go back. So I'll play that for you.
The people on the dark side are pre-Stone Age, but the people on the light side are clearly from the Bronze Age, so what better opportunity to study the Broca Divide?
What?
Excuse me.
Broca Divide. Pierre-Paul Broca was a 19th century anthropologist. He founded modern craniometry to study craniums and brains and to compare the divide in intelligence between early species of mankind.
Fascinating. Should I start the debriefing, sir?
Well, that would be a good idea, Colonel.
This is what I don't get, how Carter just chimes in there and just does the rest of it for
My
her.
science!
Yeah. It's like, he's like, piss off, Carter, this is my gig.
Yeah.
This is my moment to shine.
Yeah,
Stop stealing my lines.
Like, you got to fight the Asian guy last episode. This is me. This is all I get.
This is my feminist part.
It's like, you got to fight the Asian, I got to bang a cave woman. Like, really? Like, how is that fair?
Yeah.
Oh, how funny did he look as a...
Oh, man.
Oh, they all
So
looked
good.
just weird.
So good.
No, for me, Hammond was the worst. Or
The
best,
first
whichever
couple
way you
of
look at it.
times, the first couple of times I saw this episode, I didn't even recognize that it was Carter writhing around, like, on the gurney, like when they're actually in, like, the hospital part.
Oh, yeah.
They cut to, like, just this soldier just go, "Rrr." It's actually Carter with, like,
Massive
the brow and
eyebrows,
everything.
Yeah.
right.
Oh, you didn't notice?
No, I never noticed. I was just like, oh, that was just, guard number 6. or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
it
yeah.
was.
That was another one coming in. Yeah, that was a shocker monobrow.
Yeah, they were
I'm
all
glad she got her kid off
bad.
before that monobrow. That's all I can say.
Well, so is O'Neill.
How's the wound?
Wound?
I understand you got stabbed in the stomach or
Oh,
something?
yeah, it's nothing. With any luck, there won't even be a scar.
Oh, good. I was concerned.
You were?
Sure. it doesn't heal properly, you'll never wear that sweet little tank top number again.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What? I thought you
She's
didn't
like,
remember." God damn it!
It's like if she had longer hair, she'd be twirling it at
Yeah.
that point. She's going, I don't know what you're talking about.
Damn it! It's like when you maggot and you did something stupid, and everyone's like, "I don't remember it," and then you're like, "Oh, I bet you they do."
Yeah.
I bet you they do.
Well, the other part to that is, of course, when this is earlier on in the episode when O'Neill is revealing to Jackson what Carter actually did.
She tried to seduce me.
Oh. You poor man.
See, more sass from Daniel. He's just like,
See, I find it funny.
you poor man.
You've been self-proclaimed Daniel Jackson fan, and you've just been hammering him this.
No,
episode.
I love all this sass. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Right,
I
you
love
love
it.
it. Okay.
Love the sass.
I love it because he's just like, you got to remember, he's a civilian on a military base.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what?
Yeah.
I figured out how to open this thing.
Yeah, you guys owe me.
I own this place, all right?
Yeah, and that I actually really dig that. I've seen this episode multiple amount of times.
Yeah.
And where O'Neill and in that scene where O'Neill's there is a turn after he gets attacked by Carter, or so you see him.
Mm.
And then there is a turn in his attitude, like, oh yeah, Carter got me and blah blah blah. And then all he goes, oh, is she all right? And he goes, oh yeah, I better go see her. And he goes, why?
Yeah.
And it's like he did that really really well.
Really, you just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it was really subtle, and then the next minute he's smashing his face in.
That was brutal.
Oh man, it goes from nothing.
He
to
got
just-
into that.
and he
That
gets
was awesome.
a nice, like
And
you saw.
Daniel, no bruises, no nothing. He just had his ass handed to him by like a black ops
Dude,
Air Force
he's
guy.
a nerd. He would have copped multiple beatings at school.
He knows how to block.
He's well experienced.
He probably
He's
got
self-defense.
He didn't get
artist.
any scars from the Neanderthals on the planet where O'Neill got up.
He probably
and he got up by O'Neill, and he's just got a blood lip. That's all he's got.
He probably got knocked around by Charest that year he lived in Abydos. He knows how to take a punch.
That's why he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be back in a year, Aberdonians, because I want to rest from that whole violent marriage."
So what did they end up? What did they end up linking the turning to the Neanderthal to? It was like their diet or something in their diet.
No,
I
it's
know.
just a
She
virus,
said there was
wasn't it?
there was antihistamines in their diet. So
the ones that
naturally,
ate it,
the ones that ate it didn't become
didn't turn, but the ones that didn't eat it
turned, and it was just a random disease that they kind of tried to explain it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Piss poor effort, but
lacked a little bit for me.
Yeah, it was like, it just attacks the centers of your brain and enhances the parts that are normally dormant. I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
we'll just throw some big words in there, confuse everyone,
Yeah.
and it'll make sense.
Yeah,
like-
because there's no such thing as nitpicking in
Tech,
science
and
fiction
tech, and
fans.
we'll
Like,
explain how they get big
Jesus.
brows and you know
Yeah.
and
Hair follicles.
extra follicle growth and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, wow.
I really liked it the first time I watched it. Did you enjoy?
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah, obviously those little nitpicky things, but yeah, no, I think I am starting to get it. I'm not hooked on it yet, but I think it's the little things in the characteristics of the main characters that get me hooked or get the viewer hooked, like that little tilt thing. General, I would prefer not to hurt this man and stuff like that. Where you're just like, yeah, man, get him, and then that hooks you into the show. But I think naturally, I like astronomy and I like discovery and I like history and that sort of thing. So naturally, I'm sort of drawn to this show. So I like it, but it's at the moment, it's not something I could sit down and watch like 6 episodes.
And I never came into it watching it from season 1 starting, blah blah blah.
No.
I saw certain episodes and I'm like, oh, I dig this show. And then when I bought the DVDs, I actually started from season 2.
Yeah.
And I didn't give a shit because I was just like, I dig it. Watch 2 and 3, and then
Well, and like you
season
were
1
saying,
came out.
that's the beauty of these being a lot of it being a standalone episodes, designed for syndication. Is you can kind of pick up, in random spots,
Definitely
hit the ground running, and after 3 or 4 episodes, you understand everything.
Yeah.
So I think it was the same. I think I started watching in maybe season 3 or something like that, but I distinctly remember once I started sort of buying DVDs and stuff like that, the season 1 finale, I was like, what? Where was this? This
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah. And like I said, it's going to get... There are episodes that are coming soon that are just awesome, and you're like, oh, okay, I know why this is such a great show.
Oh, now I know why I'm standing naked in front of the TV. Now I get it.
And we've come
This
full
is meaning of
circle.
life stuff. That's what this is.
Poor choice of words by me saying we've come full circle, but there it is.
Hello, little Tilk.
Say
Wow.
indeed again. Fucking
Mate.
say it.
There's nothing little about Teal'c. There is nothing little about that.
Let your
man.
gold loose. Jafar, Jafar.
Wow. I cannot wait till Mitch gets back from wherever he is to just try and just put in a semblance of normalcy
I
into
don't
this.
think
'cause
he can really taper this, to be honest.
I don't know. I feel like we're much more behaved when he's around. I feel like at the moment it's
It's because, like Rhys says, you try and get a word in sideways with Mitch.
Yeah. Also, when Mitch is here, I've got my pants on.
Jesus. That's all good for me being in the room with two brothers. That's really, it's like, well, what do I...
There are cameras in here, so.
Wow.
It's late. It's late, guys.
It
Oh,
is.
dear.
I am, for lack of a better word, spent.
Yeah. That is a lack of it.
All
There's a lot
right.
of-
Well, that is another
lot
episode
of bad
done
words.
for Get Into Gate. We will be back next week with The First Commandment.
Oh, what a doozy that'll be.
Whoo!
Rhys, make sure you tune in to watch that one.
Yeah, that's going to be one of your highest rankings, I reckon.
Yeah, no, thanks for ruining it for me before I even get a chance to watch it. Cheers.
Nah, it's all right. It's a good kind
There's
of.
a couple of good bits, but
No, actually, there are a few good bits about Carter in this one.
Oh, okay. I remember falling asleep multiple times trying to get through this episode.
Yeah, okay.
It was,
Does the number 38 come into this episode?
No.
I don't know the episode well enough to tell you. All right, well, we will check that out next week. In the meantime, check us out on socials. In case we haven't actually created a little, pre-recorded bit, I will go through it here. Check us out. Get Into Gate on Facebook, Instagram. Do we have a Twitter yet? Is that a thing?
I think we do,
believe so, yeah.
I don't understand Twitter, so even if it was there, I wouldn't know.
Hashtag Get Into Gate.
Get Into Gate,
I don't know.
yes. You can check out all our
Do
movie
whatever you want.
reviews on Get Into Geek as well. Check out Rhys at
the Flying Gibson on Instagram.
Boom. Brendan.
I'm at the Brendan Gibson.
You've still got that one?
Yeah, man. That's it.
That's a forever one.
Look, I'm impressed. That's,
Well,
know.
I mean,
There's no photos on it,
you
but
But you know what? If you're looking for followers, you follow him, he will follow you back. So there
Yeah.
you go. There's a guaranteed follower.
whereas I will not.
I don't know about that, but I mean, sure, go for it.
I am High Pitch Matty on Instagram. Mitch is, who knows? He's Mitch _Lewis, but who knows where he actually is. Hopefully we'll get him back for the next episode, so I don't have to do this stuff because I just...
Yeah. Plus, it's tiring standing the whole time.
I know, right? I want to sit down. Anyway,
I can do things if I need to.
Let's just bring the music up, fade it out, because...
Yeah, I love this.
You did good, Colonel.
GetIntoGeek.com